everybody, and welcome to the As You Are podcast. My name is Leslie Vandergans. I'm the founder of Enso Coaching and Consulting, and we're here together again. Our favorite time, which is either season opener or season closer, but it's the season closer of season
Four.
Yeah. I know. Isn't that insane? Kathleen, Adam, Libby.
Yeah.
You were just asking me, Dresley. Isn't that insane,
And
Kathleen?
I have a question for all of you about that.
Shoot.
So we're going into season 5, and I was thinking on the way over here, wow, season 5. And then I was thinking about how so often in the arts, we really ascribe a lot of meaning to numbers like that. We're like, we're hit season 5, or this is season 10th anniversary season, 5th anniversary season. But we don't say the like 3rd anniversary season, right?
Oh, yeah.
So my question to you all is there something in numbers?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I
you
like
answered
numbers.
quick, so you better.
Mostly because I was going to be like, because I have 5 fingers and I can count that many.
Yeah.
I'm this many years old. No, I don't know. I mean, I think there's symbolic, right? We do ascribe meaning to it. And the question being, what is the meaning we ascribe? I actually got to think about it instead of just saying I've got the number of fingers.
You were really gung-ho to be like,
But you know what? If you like counting, I say commit to it.
Which I do.
That's right.
I do love counting. I don't know. I mean, it's like we want a milestone. So, so what it is about those years for a milestone that feels more significant than 3?
I think 5 feels like you're over the hump. Like 3 still feels a little like, meh,
Early on.
There you go. Yeah.
And I always, what is it that like 3 years to make something be like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
great.
what you're
I was
gonna
like,
say. I
oh,
was
you
like,
do?
yeah. No, I don't know.
But I think 3 years, like that is like you've seen something through different seasons, right? So you've seen like the seasonality, but like 3, I just feel like relationships, like you need 3 years,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, you're like, you have to just date somebody for 3 years
Oh.
until you get married? Oh, interesting.
Well,
I waited 5.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
well,
there
I
is,
waited
like,
more than that, but it's at least 3, so you can see all the like, if you're really into
yeah,
that.
Yeah. I mean, there is something. I think 3 is like where you're tested, right? Like 3 months. I always feel like 3 months, 9 months, 3 years. Like there's something that comes up there for sure. But like 5 years, the thing that stands out to me for 5 years or 5 years, 5 seasons. It's not even 5 years.
I was going to say, I was like, we keep
years.
saying years.
Yeah, but 5
Seasons.
seasons. But even with 5 seasons, it's like it's the commitment. I mean, I think there's like the commitment and then the fact that we've all committed to the 5 seasons, or that we're going into the 5 seasons, but then also that, I don't know. Does it feel like success? I don't even know if it feels like success because, we're still, we don't have
established, I
it
think.
feels established. Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I think
old
that's
pros.
it. Yeah.
We meet
That's
up,
right.
just old
pros. Well, I think
Yeah.
success, right, is subjective. So it is that,
Totally.
like, what is success? And success could be that it's like the 4 of us are still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone is
having
right.
really
listening
great
if they're hearing this right
conversations.
now.
Yeah, someone is listening.
It's my mom.
Well, there you go. A season per individual. A season per
yes.
coach.
Okay.
That's
There
what
we
when we wrap
This
up
is
today, that will be
4.
Yeah.
a
That'll be
season
numero
per
4.
coach. There's something to that.
Yeah, there
I
is.
love that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Adam? Is there something with numbers?
I think that because in the, I'll go back to the arts world again, but this is true for so many things. Like I think, like Kathleen was saying, sociologically, we have taught people to ascribe meaning as well, right? Like theaters have their 10th anniversary season. They say, well, we'll repeat a show, but not if we've done it within the past 10 years.
What is it about that that makes it okay?
Exactly, right?
Adam and I right now are working on a show that's the 10th anniversary show that
so
they
you're
did
very
10
much
years
in.
ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I mean, in some ways it seems like 30 years ago, and some days it seems like 2 years ago.
Right,
It's
right,
just such a
exactly.
crazy thing.
Time is weird.
Hi.
It is. It is.
Wild.
It's a wild, wild thing. I have a student who is she is a palliative pediatric nurse.
Oh,
Jeez.
interesting.
And she was telling me the other day that there is like some sort of theory out there that the body basically sort of redoes itself, whatever you want, whatever that reprograms, resets, whatever you want to say, every 7 years. And I thought that was interesting. I don't know what that's based in, or we just she's talked about it in passing, but I thought it's just interesting, sort of like how many things fit within 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't often hear like your 15th anniversary season as much, I mean, you see it, but 10, but something about that within 10 number,
10, yeah.
Maybe that's where we can conceive of looking into the future or back on. There you go, Kathleen.
All these fingers.
Kathleen saying, here's my 10 fingers.
I mean, I just think, and like I'm joking for the most part, but I do think about when it's kids and you're turning 5 and they're like, you're a whole hand old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we say that to kids.
That's, I mean, literally, because Emmy is about to turn 6 and she's like, now I'm a hand and one finger. It's like, she's like,
she knows.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
exciting.
we're about to be 1 hand old, y'all.
Yeah.
I know.
Then we'll high five about it.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It is.
Which 5 is like not a toddler, but still it's like a little kid. So we're still in our fun kid
they're
era.
making
That's
some
right.
choices.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
right.
they're making some choices.
Magic exists.
Their personality's starting to show.
Yeah.
I feel like that's true with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never shown until
I
right
know.
now.
Never,
Yeah,
ever.
We didn't have
We
one.
lack
We're
personality.
like, come as you are, JK. We don't know who we are.
Yeah.
But now we do.
Now
Just
we
kidding,
do.
I don't
But
know.
we're still figuring it out, right?
Yeah.
Like if we're running with that like a kid age, like you're still figuring it out. And maybe that's maybe that's some of it. Is that it's like if it's a 50th, there is a sense of like something is established.
Tried and true.
Tried, like really
Yeah.
established, and how much are
Yeah.
they able to change? Versus 5, it's like, okay, we've gone through these seasons. We know more who we are, but there's still, it feels like there's a lot of possibility ahead.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I think a lot of the way that we have gained our personalities is through the guests we've had.
I mean, definitely.
Adam, look at that
Definitely.
transition.
I
What
do
do
my
you-
best.
Well, and I guess this is kind of because it's not really just one of us that, approaches people to like come on the show. Like, I think it's kind of a group effort. But I think what would you guys say is something that like when we're looking at people that we want to be guests on the show, or when we're all kind of brainstorming around that, what are some of the things that come to mind for you guys?
I mean, for me, I think it's just leadership, right? And
Same.
I don't think that has to have boundaries,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because obviously, you have business owners or CEOs who are trying to lead an organization,
Mm-hmm.
and the struggles and challenges are not any different than a creative who is, kind of a independent person who's trying to make something happen out of nothing. Like there's entrepreneurship that kind of
absolutely.
exists in that, and how they're telling their story,
Mm-hmm.
and how they're kind of relentlessly pursuing the things that they want.
Yeah.
And I think that theme of leadership exists deeply in all of our guests,
Yeah.
regardless of who has come on the show. We have, and I think going back to what you were just saying, Kathleen, around like we're still trying to figure out exactly who we are. And, and I think the things that have started to kind of show themselves are, this kind of mashup between artists that we get to talk to and business leaders who, from a 1,000-foot view, you look at it and you're like, oh, those are two completely different types of humans. But the struggles and the challenges and the wins and the successes and all of those things are all so deeply aligned.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that has reared itself or shown itself
It's
in
been
the
surprising, I
conversations
think, like which has
that
been
we've
like
had.
a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big word for me that comes up is adaptability.
Mm.
And I feel like that's a really big theme that's come up this season when we look even at all the AI stuff where it's like you have to be adaptive with it. When we look at the artists and the theater companies that we've brought in, that it's like they are still around, some of them after decades.
Yeah.
And what that's taken is adaptability.
Yeah.
And so being a leader, then we talk about this a lot, that like the person who's the most flexible actually has the most control.
Mm-hmm.
That like you've got to be able to
100%.
adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. Adapt and reflect and look at yourself in the mirror
absolutely.
and, all
Yeah.
of those things. Like there's a constant theme of just where am I and how do I personally fit into whatever it is that I'm doing and pursuing and, looking to engage in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think kind of a combination of both of those for me is when I think about, who would be like a great guest for the podcast? I think about like innovation.
Mm-hmm.
And that innovation sounds like such a big, big word, but innovation can be an intimate thing, I think, or it can be an epic thing, or it's just kind of like talking about entrepreneurialism. I think that we've had a lot of guests who have done things that we've read about or in other ways, or that we've seen play out in other ways, but they're doing it in a completely new way. And then we see some people who come to the room, to the couch, to the chair,
To the couch.
and they have done something that is really truly kind of brand new in its own way, and I think that both of those things are equally impressive and interesting and cool, and that there's a place for all of that. And so innovation for me is a really cool aspect of what we get to talk about on here, and I get to learn. Gosh,
oh my God.
it's
so
like
much.
coming here and having a master class.
Yeah,
I was like when we had
true.
Jeff, for example, on earlier in the year or the season. No more years.
Whenever. Was it last week or was it last year? We don't know.
When we had Jeff on earlier in the season, my gosh, the amount of things that I just learned about how one would consult about AI, because he sort of seems like he's a VP in his current role, but he seems sort of like a internal consultant almost in some ways. And so what I learned a lot about was how you help people implement and navigate AI. And then we've had other folks who've talked more about sort of like the back end, the sort of engineering, the actual sort of like computational part of it all. So this kind of 360 look at AI, I think, has been really interesting this season.
Well, and there's, it's funny how the AI conversation happened, because it was we were having this
Season
initial
opener,
season opener and saying, hey, we should do that.
Get our AI friends.
Yeah, get our AI friends in. And the funny thing is, solving a massively complex problem, like, I say problem, opportunity, however you want to put it, is not, even though it is so overwhelming. And I think Josh put it so greatly, which was, it is like electricity. We've discovered it, but like, what do you do with it? Like, how do you, like, until the light bulb was discovered, we didn't know how to funnel electricity into something. We just like knew that it existed, right?
I saw lightning.
Yeah.
But what do you do with that? Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do with it? Like, how do you harness it? And like, what are you supposed to do with it? And how do we use it in a way that's going to be helpful? And so we're in this kind of precipice of like, okay, we've discovered AI, but what do we do with it? And I think the biggest realization in all three, though kind of approaching it in a different way, very clearly stated, you don't solve AI with AI. We solve AI with, what is the problem that I'm trying to solve first?
Yeah.
And I think the learning that I've had in this process of just even being with this podcast, but also in the company as a whole, is that that's always the challenge that organizations or people or arts organizations or individuals have, which is, number one is, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to solve? What am I trying to accomplish? And let that be due north, and then say, how do these other things enhance that or support what we're trying to do or where we're trying to go? And I think that is, that has been the lesson for me in some of the conversations that we've had, which is just figure out what due north is. Be flexible and adaptable enough to say, okay, AI is here. Let's welcome that conversation and be curious about that conversation. But no, we're still trying to solve this problem. And is that the right problem to solve? Do we need to like revisit or whatever? But like, we're very clear about, this is where we're going. AI is going to enhance something. How do we know what problem to solve and then bring the AI in to be a solution, rather than letting AI be the driving factor, which is ambiguous. We don't have a light bulb, right?
Yeah.
We have electricity. What problem are you trying to solve? Well, we need to light some stuff. So what could we do with this electricity to make, light inside of a building, right? And I think it was just so beautifully stated and such a reminder,
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think being active in that too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like you actively have to be asking those questions, to be learning, because it's going to happen to you otherwise.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, it's going to happen to you. You can do something with it, or you can be a victim to it, right?
Or be at cause.
Be at cause. I'll be at a
I thought you said black cars.
Or be a black car.
Like, what is that expression?
When in doubt, you can always just...
That's right.
Be a black car.
Why not?
But, you're saying all this, and I'm like, this sounds a lot like how we coach our clients, too.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
In what way? Because I think the corner of the coaching world that I do is probably a little different. I mean, a lot of overlap, but in what ways, Kathleen?
I was like, let me talk about the GROW model.
Yeah. So many.
Yeah, which is one of the models that we will often use with coaching. So it's an acronym. Actually, it's I can't remember. Actually, it is an acronym. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's another thing that's like
everything is an acronym.
After we have this, I'll talk to you a little bit more about the nuance with how it's not actually all. Anyways, this might be a true acronym. I'll ask Lisa Sheps, who taught me this. So GROW, G is for goal, R is for reality, O is for obstacles, and W is for the way forward. So in the same way that it's like, what are we trying to solve? That it's like, well, what is it we're wanting to achieve? What is our goal? Then it becomes the reality. Where are we right now? What's going on? What's stopping us from getting that goal? And a lot of our time is spent in that space. And once you've had enough time in that space, it becomes really clear what that W is, that way forward. But it takes having time in that space.
And identifying that a lot of times what they think is the way forward, or what you think is the way forward, is not the actual solution to whatever the problem is. Or you don't even know what problem you're solving, right?
100%.
There's just not that clarity.
That's what the goal of the uncovering what the actual obstacle is getting clarity on like what is keeping us from getting to the actual goal. And sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's not. We talked about this a little bit too.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And I think, it was one of the things that comes up, again, around the podcast as a whole and the guests that we've had and all of the learnings that we've had is that, and I think we've talked about this a lot, is just the commitment that we have to learning. And you even kind of going in and talking about the GROW model, we got to have John VG on and he, he's like he's a big part of our commitment to learning in that we're like spending an hour a week.
Yeah.
Making sure that we're hour and a half. Yeah.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But like the whole point is that we're not done in this kind of pursuit of continuing to refine the skills so that those become second nature. And I think part of coaching is like we might discover the goal or we might discover the way forward, but breaking old habits to move forward in a way requires ongoing commitment. Right. Which is, part of the reason why we have to stay committed to like learning from a coaching standpoint, and then why we stay with our clients for so long, because they might discover, okay, this is the way forward. But in reality, I'm going back to my old ways of doing things. Right. And I'm just assuming. Vocally.
That someone has a breakthrough in one lesson and you're like, this is an easier way to do this.
And then you're like, stop singing so loud.
Stop being so weird. Can you breathe? Like, yeah.
Maybe the lesson in that is that as complex as singing can be, most of the time the O comes back to one of three or four things at its core.
Yeah. That's same for us. We talk about skill set, activity, and mindset. There are like those three buckets. And then within that, there's nuance. But you just said it comes down to three or four things. Yeah. Same.
What do you think the three things are that come up for you?
In a vocal context, breath is one of them. The way in which one uses the body is for sure a second one. I would say that comes usually before breath because, you can teach people how to use breath and harness breath all day long, but I always use the analogy of if you decide that you're going to play the trombone in middle school, why you would, I don't know. But just kidding. Musical inside joke for the musicians. But anyway, if you decide that you're going to play the trombone in middle school, and then that trombone comes from the manufacturer, you leave it out in the driveway and it gets run over by the older sibling, you can give that trombone, which is in essence the same compound, it's the same makeup that it was, except now it's just kind of like distorted from the way it was meant to be played. You could give that to the first chair trombonist of the Chicago Symphony or the London Symphony or whatever, and they're not going to be able to play it well, no matter how much control of their breath they have, no matter how much musicianship they have acquired over the years. It just doesn't matter. So to me, a lot comes back to, before you can really, truly address breath, how is the awareness of the way in which the body itself is a vessel and an instrument needs to come first. Breath is another one. And then, honestly, the other thing that most of I would say the O is for so many people is imposter syndrome. And anxiety around performance. It's not even something that is per se, quote, physical in the way that we think about physical things, but so often you can trace back that O in the Grow model when it comes to voice to a moment in growing up, to speaking of Grow, in a moment of growing up, in a moment of a presentation or a boardroom moment that didn't go as well as one had hoped, and people hold on to those things, as do we all. And I think that's often a big part of why our body reacts the way it does. And the body kind of shrinks maybe, and the breath gets held, and like it all
works
it's
together.
all intertwined, right? But so often it comes down to sort of one of those three things, I think. And then this can take shades and nuances, and you can go from there. But
for sure, that
well,
mindset.
it's almost like you tied you tied back to activity, skill set, and mindset, right? Like, what are the things that we need to do to make sure that our body is set, and then like what are we doing in practice, right? And then how is the mind impacting? It's just
It's the same.
It's just all the same,
and it's
just
how
so
long
fun.
does it take to
how long does it take to rebuild that habit, right?
And I think that's the thing. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this as well. People having some sort of breakthrough or having some sort of thing, whether it's in like a voice lesson or in a coaching session, and having this like light bulb moment, and then getting frustrated because, well, I had this moment and I had this clarity, or I tried this thing this one time and it went really well, and then I went back and I can't. It's not. And I think that is also an area, just as coaches, where, as we support and we're there to like help people through that, like, okay, you did it, we've identified it, but that's really when the work starts.
Right, exactly.
Consistency is really, I think that's what I always tell people in a session, like, this was amazing. Don't beat yourself up when you go home and you're like, I couldn't get it again, because the 99% of the work is being able to do it on demand.
Yeah.
The consistency aspect.
Right, exactly. Well, and if we don't commit to the consistency, it is so easy to continue to
go
fall
back
into old
ways.
habits, right?
And I think some of them too, with our coaching clients, is just like, some of it is not necessarily like, I think with like, singing or something like that, where you're like, okay, yes, I need to like practice. Here's the things Adam gave me. Here's what I need to do. With some things that in coaching where it's a little more nuanced of like, how do you like actively practice,
right? Right.
Being, in a certain state of mind, or like things along those lines. So I think that it's complicated and it's challenging,
100%, right?
We talk about this a lot. Hebb's law, JVG. The brains that fire together wire together.
Yeah.
So that's part of that. It's like that's part of building up that consistency. Is it takes that practice,
rewiring.
takes that rewiring.
I mean, it's so funny because we're in this kind of crossroads of thinking about the way that we think and the way that we engage in whatever maybe uncomfortable activity might exist or whatever, preconceived thought that we have about some certain situation. And like Hebb's law is basically taking and reprogramming. And the fact that we've been talking about AI in this context of like, how do we need to think about it? How do we use it in a way that's going to be valuable? It's not any different than, kind of what we do from a coaching perspective as individuals, right? Which is...
It's all connected.
It's all connected, right? We have to reprogram, we have to reprogram, but then we have to continue to fortify what we've reprogrammed and not go back to old DOS systems.
But that is where it takes time. That's where it takes time coming back to that too, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't just happen, DOS systems.
Tell me more about these old DOS systems. My old Oregon Trail.
Yeah. I want to come back to
Minecraft.
Well,
oh, wait. No, that's not it. Go back.
No, I want to go back to the voice because as you're talking, I like babies. There was like something I read eons ago when talking about babies and how like babies are able to scream and cry for long stretches of time and their voices do not wear out. For the most part.
Yeah.
But that it's like what happens to us as we grow up that then impacts that like I'm not able to scream and cry at that level for hours.
Babies also breathe normal too.
Yeah.
Like they have the like breath that is the way it's supposed to be without like
there's no tension.
Yeah, but that's like what's naturally there. Is I guess some of where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Is that it's like naturally we are built for this. And then all this other stuff.
Life happens.
Life happens.
Experiences, trauma, all of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the importance of caring for ourselves deeply is...
The equipment is there.
Yeah, exactly. One, I mean, and again, we talk about this, right? Like this is one of the things we had just mentioned, which is, these leaders, these artists, these people that we have these conversations with are constantly looking at themselves in the mirror first. And to go back to like that baby who's screaming and the singer who is strained or has the trauma or whatever, like how are we constantly going back to take care of ourselves first so that we can show up in a multitude of different situations
You have to put your mask on before you can
put your mask
on before you can assist others. That's right.
Very true. That's very true.
It's very true.
I know.
It's very false. I just want to be contrarian. No, I'm just kidding.
Contrarian.
Yeah. But I also, and I think y'all know this about me, is like, headspaces. It's true for a lot of us that it's like it's not as easy as just put your own mask on. Right? Like
it takes practice. You need to practice putting your mask on every day.
Right. Yeah. And that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
So as quick as it is to say, put that mask on yourself, it's like sometimes putting the mask on yourself is the hardest part.
This is why we do what we do.
So we've had a lot of talk about artificial intelligence this season. And there's also been a lot of artistic intelligence.
And different
that
AI.
We've had
Both
a different AI, right? Which I think I think that's probably a hallmark of our seasons in general because we're artists.
Yeah.
So we like to have our artist friends. Is there any themes that have come up for you all in the artists we've talked to this season?
I feel like Leslie at least turned to me on that one. I do. I think about like...
It was my thinking face,
but...
Kathleen. You're a safe face to think about.
Thank you. I'm just... Like some of the people that we've brought on from the artistic community, it's incredible how they've been able to be mainstays. Like I think some of them, if we think about who are icons, Adam, you and I talked about this the other day, the icons of Austin theater, and that some of them
name names right now.
Libby Dentley,
yes,
icon. Not joking. Yeah, but I mean, like we have some of these icons, and how does someone become an icon? Is the question that's coming up for me right now. And I think some of that is like, I don't know, the relationships that you build, that endurance.
Yeah, I mean, I think that with the artistic people that we've had, there's very much a clear like the flexibility and things not, especially being kind of mainstays in the Austin community or even, just people that have had to really pivot with the landscape.
Yeah.
I think that's been
Yeah.
huge. I mean, with like Austin Playhouse, all the, how the different spaces that they've occupied, how they've, pivoted to kind of serve their audience and kind of just everything that they've done there. Same with On Tract is like, this didn't exist. So how can we make something that, is going to serve this community that's doesn't really have a voice.
Yeah. Or that has a voice but has no place to put
use it. They do have voices, yes. But I think that it's that like the flexibility and not being so tied to being like the right one, right? Like the one that's right in the room.
Well, and I think about John VG, who, has a doctorate in music.
Yeah.
And again, talking about like pivoting, is able to really use so much of that leadership that comes out of, conducting and music education paradigms. And we talked a lot about composing versus interpreting, which certainly has so many metaphors in the leadership world. And so he, people who also I think can take one epistemological set and apply it
to many
to others that's its own talent and development.
I know.
Set,
I was like,
dang, that's not a word I was planning on.
It only
today.
comes out at 9:30 in the morning.
Yes, welcome.
That's it. The rest of the day, it's all downhill.
We peaked. I didn't know I was going to get delighted with that word today.
I just think a lot about how you want to hire theater kids. And I think it's true for a lot of different, like probably true as well for musicians that you hear that a bunch, that it's like you want to hire them.
Yeah. Scrappy.
Yeah, because they're scrappy. They can hop in. They know like, where do you fit into all this?
Passionate usually.
Passionate. Yeah.
Yes and people. Yes and people.
I think that's, the yes and piece, which to those of you who don't understand improvisation, like yes and is a key component of being able to improvise, which again, from a business standpoint, I know there's some improv troops in the 2000s and 2010s
companies.
That go in to teach this concept of we never shut anything down because it stifles creativity, and creativity is the lifeblood of innovation, right? So but I think yes and is a key component of these artistic organizations that have sustained. And I also think very smart business savvy.
Yeah.
Because the combination, it is one thing to have a passion about the arts and to say, I'm going to go and pursue the things that I want to pursue. But if we're not thinking about things like market research and access and what else is happening in the community, the market research, I guess. How do we do something innovative and different that doesn't already exist? What do partnerships and engaging with other organizations look like, whether they be artistic or not? All of these, who are the people that we're engaging in? How do we continue to build an audience?
What is the problem we're solving for? Like, what is not seen that we...
I think all of those things have to be a part of any artistic organization surviving, specifically in Austin, because Austin is not a actor-friendly city. And so if you are going to go pursue something, you have to think creatively about income streams and diversifying those income streams and who are the people that you're engaging with from a audience standpoint, and how are you building your audiences and all of those things. And and I think it's a hard thing sometimes for artists when they decide to go the route of I'm going to go start a company. But the reality is you have to have the flexibility, to your point, Kathleen, earlier, and you have to have the yes and to say, okay, where do we go next, or how do we continue to maneuver something like COVID when you can't, get audiences? And I mean, there are multiple theater companies who are just like, well,
we're done. That's it.
No, we can't do anything. So everybody go, drive Uber right now, whatever. Right. But anyway, I think that has been eye-opening and consistent. The people that we've spoken to.
Well, there's
that really
tenacity.
made an impact.
Like I think about when you think about On Tract and you think about Austin Playhouse, Austin Playhouse has talked, decades when we've talked about like the concept of decades, when you think about decades and you think about the amount of spaces, as Libby said, that Austin Playhouse, there is a tenacity and promises that were made, to the Playhouse, and that happens a lot that in the arts that might not follow through and things like that, and just the tenacity to continue.
Yeah, because how easy is it to be like, nope,
Right.
we're done.
And then you have Michael McKelvey, who was with us, who, that's another kind of tenacity, because talk about a nomadic artist. I mean,
for sure.
Michael is kind of I guess he's not the Harold Hill, because that's a very that's not a good.
Oh my God.
They would love that.
Take away the bad part of that analogy.
That's so funny.
Put in the part about
musician.
But put in the part about how you go around and start a band, quote unquote.
Yeah,
because really, everywhere
and you get
he's
a community
gone,
to follow you.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And so he can come back to Austin and do things
success
here. He can go back to. I mean, he's been in Pittsburgh twice now. He can go back to Pittsburgh. He can go. There's. I think that there's a lot to that. And then with On Track, it's something that's kind of still so new. We're also just about to start our 4th season. So this is like a fourth.
Almost a whole.
You started a lot of new things.
Exactly. In there. So it's interesting to look at 3 organizations that kind of, or 3 individuals, I guess, in a way, that are at 3 different kind of places in there.
I'm also going to throw out the Vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Bonnie,
and to go with the business side of things, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Where it's like, you've got that physical space. How do we be creative about a physical space that we have? Who all are we bringing in that we might not initially associate with theater?
Yeah, and stay committed to the vision,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
There's nothing that the Vortex is doing that is out of alignment with who they are as an organization. I mean, they're very committed to this like really niche market, and anything that they produce, whether it's a show or it's an event in their facilities, is all just hyper Austin creative.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
It's just so unique.
This is one of those icons that I think of.
Yes.
That it's like you can say the Vortex in the Austin theater scene and people are like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Or you could say Patrizzi's in the non-theater scene and people will say, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Brands.
So good. Well, and all of those all of these arts organizations that we've talked to this year have a feel to them. I think of Anthropology, when you walk into an Anthropology store,
we're wearing those pants.
We are. You walk in, you feel away. It smells away. Like what you're getting, and I think every single one of the On Track has a feel, a vibe. It is, it is. Well, I don't want to speak for it, but
I was like, what is it? I would love to know.
It has a specific smell.
It feels like classy. It feels sexy. It feels like.
Girl.
I think so.
No,
Doesn't
I agree.
I do too.
It feels vibey and
like an elephant.
Elephant.
It feels like an elephant.
It feels like
an
an elephant.
Elevated event.
Yeah, and an elevated event
with your little
with the step and repeat, and like you kind of want to dress up and like you sit at your little cocktail tables, and so it feels away. And then Doctimista is chaotic, and there's like merch and cups and punch that has been fermenting for like months. Yeah. And you go and you have one sip of that drink, and then you're intoxicated.
And you're going to see wild stuff on stage, and it's going to be an experience. It's going to be a good time.
And then you go to Vortex, and then you're like, maybe I'm going to see a boob in a ferry.
Yeah.
And,
more likely than not.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to see Dog Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
you're going to see
that.
Like it's definitely, it's got a feel to it. And then Austin Playhouse, you go and you're going to see like a murder mystery comedy or like a 19th century, British comedy or something along those lines.
Or like a new work.
Or a new kind of underground work with the 2-person cast. So every single one of these organizations has some sort of a vibe that they have committed to from a vision standpoint.
And you know what? We're talking about how do you last? And sometimes it is a vibe. It is this comes back to brand, as you were saying, Adam, that it's like
people have to like the And I think that they're all, I mean, I think we're a little different because we see probably more than like the typical human does.
That's
but
true.
I think that they all kind of have their respective, like, here's their people. Like an Austin Playhouse patron probably looks a little different from the Vortex patron. But, they all have loyal people that are, want to go see shows there.
Yeah.
And subscribe to the vibe.
Yeah.
And they all have people who are like the face of the organization is always present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you go
That
to the
is so
Vortex, you're
true.
probably going to see Bonnie there.
Absolutely, or
Michael
Melissa, yeah.
McKelvey is sitting at
He's
at the table
100%.
Yeah.
with the merch and the tickets
not
and the
getting
alcohol
past,
and the
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's all
All
a
of it.
one-stop shop.
It's
you
so
know?
true.
And that's also true of Laura and
Obviously
and
you
of
and
Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's presence, I think, also
Yeah.
presence,
Well,
and that's not true of every arts organization.
Oh, no.
Oh, absolutely
No.
not. And that's, I guess, the dependability.
Elephant.
Elephant.
Yes.
But the dependability that it's like, again, like I know a little bit of, like I feel a part of the community is maybe some of it. That it's like I recognize this person.
Mhm.
And I feel with all of the people we just mentioned, I feel like they also remember me.
Yeah.
And that's probably true for a lot of the patrons.
Yeah.
And so if you want to feel a sense of belonging, you're going to go where you feel like you belong.
Everybody
Where
knows your
everybody knows your
name.
name.
Everybody knows your name. Did y'all just come up with that?
Yeah, we're going to
great.
trademark that right now.
Yeah.
I
So
love
good.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brains are
it's
one.
it's funny because I think there's a lot of noise in the world and it's an interesting time and all of that, and yet we can go and have conversations with this like diverse group of humans that are experiencing. I mean, we also have connected family partners that we had a conversation with earlier
absolutely.
in the season too, doing something completely different. And then, and then we had Skylar, who was the author. And then, we have these arts organizations. And we have all these AI conversations. We have John V.G. who's and, it's just this like diverse group of individuals that are challenged with almost very similar parallel challenges, very similar parallel problems. And, I don't know, there's something to that, which the noise from the outside, and when we can actually sit down and we can be curious and we can have these kind of conversations and allow people to be vulnerable and be themselves, it's a kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a little magical thing,
It's a little warm and fuzzy.
It is warm and fuzzy.
We're all more connected than we would.
than we think we
think we
are.
are, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we talked a little bit about how we already have some of our guests lined up for season 5.
The hand.
What are some of the hand? That's right.
Mm-hmm. One whole hand.
What are some of the things we're excited about in this current zeitgeist exploring? It's kind of like epistemology. Okay, that's my 2 for the day.
much.
That's my 2 for the day, I
What
guess.
are you showing
What
off
are the
for
people? Yeah,
today?
seriously.
Us.
Seriously. It's too early in the week
Oh
for
my
that.
God.
Too early in the week for that. But
Adam sat down with this thesaurus
I
before
know.
he came
He's like, I have to get
what
these words
shall I
in.
do?
Maybe
Yeah.
you just you bet with someone. You're like, I bet I can get these
How
3
many
words
can I get
into
in?
the podcast.
It was Kathleen.
I owe him now $50.
That would be a fun game to play.
That would be a fun game. Do you guys know about that? Do you know about that? Sorry, sidetrack. Do you guys know about that rapper that he'll go and he'll be like 3 really unique words and then he like freestyles. But then he
No.
include he's
That
pretty
sounds like
amazing.
something you would attempt to do.
Let's get him on the podcast.
Yes.
Exactly. But he's very entertaining. I'll send you guys a clip of him later. But I'm sorry, Adam. You were asking a question.
Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist.
What are people,
Duh.
what are we excited about, talking about, and hearing about?
Ooh, this is good. I mean, I think consistently it is just there's almost this sounds like awful and I don't intend for it to, but there is something about like hearing how other individuals are struggling with similar things that makes it feel like I'm not alone, like we're
Yeah.
not alone. Like these are all things that we're trying to work through. And so to not feel alone makes it feel like, okay, well, then I can go and continue to just battle this
because you
battle.
get everyone's highlight reel. And so,
Right, 100%.
When I think that that's also some of the thing, too, when we've had people come in and you're like, oh, I think that I know your business and everything that's been going on. We've been following them, been a fan, whatever. And then you like get into the conversation and they're like, well, we almost went bankrupt this year. We had to lay off this many people. And you're like, oh, yep.
We're all just
We're
struggling,
all
right?
just getting through it.
Right, right, exactly.
So more of that.
I know it sounds like that sounds awful, but it
No.
is
Misery loves
No.
company.
I mean, I think I was going to say something kind of similar in that for me, I am excited to hear about how people, and I think we hear this, even if it's not direct in almost every person we talk to, about how people navigate the difficulty, the challenges just of the world too, not necessarily solely of their projects. But how do I contribute to and live in the world, particularly when it's a hard place to be? That I always find, I usually find that when we leave these sessions, like just I feel inspired often. And I think that that's probably why it's knowing that other people are struggling and how they are coming to terms with that and solving for that. And also I think, hearing about how people are just making the world better as
that
one of those
passion,
things.
right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Love it.
Making the world better.
I hear it's going to be one Lego at a time with one of our guests this
spoiler. Spoiler.
It's the only one.
So
The only-
sweet.
It's the only one.
I
On the
know. It's so sweet though. It's just
It's very
I don't
sweet.
know. I just love creatives and I love entrepreneurs
I
and
know,
and
man.
Yes.
they're very special people and I think deep down to the core, we're all just doing our best, man, trying to make the world a better.
Doing our
We're doing our best. We're trying to make the
Doing
world a
my
better
worst.
place.
Contrary.
Yeah.
But right, like trying to make the world a better place.
Trying to make the
Absolutely
world a
coming
better
back in
place,
there.
right? Yeah.
And wanting to make the world a better place for other people too.
100%.
Well, I guess
Right.
that's implied. Sorry.
I'm actually only making it better for me.
I'm actually only making it better for
My world a better place.
I mean,
We're going to find out if 5 is and
Is
why
5
5.
Why
yeah, why
5?
five?
Why
I know.
5?
Maybe
we'll
that's
see.
our big
Special
question we answer.
Why 5?
Why
Why
5?
five?
Why
Why
5?
5?
Like Wi-Fi.
That's right.
Yeah.
We just asked. That's the first question we ask every guest in the 5th season.
Yeah.
What's 5 mean to you?
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Okay, I do too.
Okay.
A theme.
You know, I
Done,
like my
Adam.
questions.
Done. Done. Okay, you guys. Well, happy season 4.
Happy season 4.
Happy
in
season
the
4.
books.
Yes.
I don't think I still completely understand how podcast seasons work, but
We're
I'm
just here
happy
for
I'm
it.
happy for it.
But
to
here
be.
we are.
You
I'm
just
happy
tell me.
for
We
it
have
to
totally
be.
made that up ourselves.
Oh,
Just
that's
for
how
the
it works.
record.
I see. That's how it works.
That's how.
For the
That's how those
record,
things
that's
work
how
in
it
our
is.
universe.
She decided.
And
then we're
our
like,
friends
season's
here.
over.
And our friends here, I feel
Yeah.
like that's
Do
part of the.
do they support us with that? I hope so.
All I know is I look at the
Emotionally,
calendar
yeah.
invite and it says season 4 closer, and I'm like, okay,
All right,
Great.
let's be.
sounds like we're bookending this one.
Yeah.
Who knows? I show up.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's good. I love it.
I
Okay.
also, sorry, want one more big
Get
word
in
from
there.
Adam
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
on the spot.
Not all the big words from Adam are
No.
broadcast appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We know
Okay.
this. That's the after.
Maybe
hours.
this is something to look forward to in season 5. More big words.
Yeah.
Adam unfiltered.
How many words can he throw into the rap?
Uh-oh.
We're just going to do that. That's going to be the game is that Adam asks us for weird words. We're going to give it to him and then he has to say them during the podcast.
There you go.
Excellent.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is a
Consider
great
it
game.
done.
Also, listeners, listen.
Yeah.
Put it in. If you ever like and subscribe
yeah,
and you
that's
want to
right.
have
That's
a comment,
right.
Oh,
put a big word in
Put
the
a
comment.
big word in the
They
comment.
win a
We do
prize.
need
We'll
to
work
say
it in.
something, Kathleen. Somebody liked our podcast and left a comment and was like, I never got a call from Kathleen.
Oh, no. Okay, you know what? My B.
I'm not going to name names,
My B.
but
You just named me.
Well.
That's right.
All right, my B person, I'm going to check. I'm going to call you
Yeah.
if your number is included. How else?
Yeah.
I don't know how else I can call them
Good
if I
luck.
don't
It's
know.
time for you to find. That's for you to
I'm just
find
going
out.
to tell you, we all know this person.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to call them. Thank you for doing that. Sincerely,
right.
thank you for
That's
doing
right.
that. And then in the comments, Leslie, and I'll be better about checking, put a
Leslie
word
will
for
give
Adam
you
to
a
use.
prize if you can guess the words that we
Chose.
try. Yeah.
That's right. What is the prize? Nice shimmy from yours truly.
There you go.
Tune in, like, and
That's all I got.
subscribe.
That's right.
So maybe don't. Maybe don't play.
Oh, so
Up
good.
to you.
Well, I adore you guys.
I
Just
love you
saying.
guys.
What a time.
We're kind of like our own Golden Girls
Oh
over
my
here.
God.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Have you heard the church version of that? Because,
No.
oh my God.
Really?
I'm going to text you it.
Please
It's
do.
so good.
No way.
Oh my God. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Season 4.
Season 4. The end.
Like
Love
and
you guys.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe. Send this podcast
We
to
are
your
fun.
friends. We're
I
fun.
hope
People
I
do like
know.
our friends like it, I think.
Yeah.
Our
They
friends
say
like
they do.
it. They do. They say
They
they
text
like
us
it.
that
That's
they
true.
listened to part of it today.
Exactly.
So.
I know. It's so nice. Yeah, like and subscribe. Send it over. We would like a season 6. Maybe we won't do
Yeah.
a season 6. Maybe 5 is the
Maybe
end.
5
We're
is-
happy to say goodbye, right, Adam?
Always.
We're okay with
Yeah.
saying
We're
goodbye
okay.
to things.
We're okay.
Good practice.
But we don't want to.
Practice.
But not
we don't
yet.
want to.
Yeah, just season 5.
Season
We have
5.
to do season 5
That's right.
at least. So
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like and
Okay.
subscribe. We'll see you
Like
on the
and subscribe.
platforms, and we'll see you in season 5
That's
on the
right.
platforms. All right. Thank you guys so much.
I'm
See you
waving
soon.
end fingers. Waving goodbye.
It's going to be 10
40,
seasons.
40, 40.